All right, guys, so I caught this cringe segment on race from the television show The Doctors. And I don't know who the hell watches these shows because I already told you guys, I don't watch TV, right? YouTube is my TV. So if I don't see it on YouTube, if I don't see it on my feed, then I ain't probably not watching it. I don't even watch Netflix. Okay, I don't have any subscription services. I literally just watch YouTube. That's it. So I don't know who watches these shows, but apparently some people do. And in this segment, they had Miss Gloria Harrison and Carrie Clifford, whom were childhood best friends, right? And started in elementary school. And they have a podcast in which they talk about race. Now, in this segment with the doctors, they're going to go on this very cringe kind of conversation about how the black woman, Gloria, basically tries to make Carrie acknowledge her white privilege in order for them to have a conversation about what's going on in America. Take a look.
And Gloria, what was your reaction to Carrie wanting to interview and black-splain some stuff to her?
There you go, black-splain. Here's the thing. When I got the call, let me be honest, I was like, oh my God, Carrie's calling me. This is awesome, right? So we talk about our kids, our husband, we kind of catch up on life. See, things seem good. Then she gets to the black space, right? Yep. She's like, Gloria, I feel bad about what's going on in the country. Hopefully we can talk. And, I was like, talk about what? I go, Carrie, in order for us to talk, you must first acknowledge your white privilege. If you can't do that, we cannot have a conversation. And I said, Carrie, are you willing to acknowledge your white privilege? And what did you say to me?
I said yes. And honestly, it was like, it's been prior to these conversations, I wasn't so aware of my white privilege. And now I understand it. And I definitely took it for granted and still take it for granted. Like I now have a window into all the things that Gloria has to think about, that she can't comfortably go into Costco and sample the cheese and not worry that someone thinks she's stealing. Like that to me, it's just like, oh, whatever, it's Tuesday, All
right, guys, so as you can see, the black woman basically starts off by saying, I have to black-splain some things. And guys, I never heard of that term black-splaining. I've never heard of it a day in my life. Okay, never heard it. I had to look it up. Apparently, it is explaining your life experience through the lens of being black, right? It's black people telling other people what it's like to be black, right? Again, I had no clue that this word existed, right? That was the first thing that threw me off. And then you notice she said, well, Carrie, her friend, the white woman, she cannot have a conversation about what's going on in this country, right? In terms of things, I'm assuming that they're talking about, police and the race issue without acknowledging your white privilege. And then Carrie goes along with it and says, yes, I do have white privilege. I acknowledge my white privilege. Okay, and that is just so cringe to me, guys. It's so cringe, right? The reason why is because as a black person in this country, guys, I have white friends. I had a white roommate for like 2 years, right? I've had white friends all my life. And this is a conversation that has never happened. We've never had to have this conversation whatsoever, right? Doesn't mean we haven't talked about race. We don't talk about it like that, right? Mainly it's just jokes, right? Jokes, okay? And this type of stuff right here, guys, it really does highlight the paternalistic kind of relationship that it seems like liberals want to have with black people, right? Where you have these white liberals who want to say, yes, 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 I have privilege. Yes, 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 I'm above you. Yes, 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 I'm better than you. Yes, 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 my life is better than your life, okay? And because of that, I must treat you like a pet, okay? I have to take you out. I have to feed you, right? I have to groom you. I have to take care of you, right? That's just kind of what it seems like. And guys, you notice how at the end she says, well, I also must assume because of your skin color that when you go to a Costco and you try to sample some cheese, people might think you're stealing. And I'm like, dude, this has never happened to me a day in my life, right? As a black person. And look, I can't say my experience is everybody's experience, but I mean, bruh, like this idea that, all black people feel like, when they go out, they got to watch out because somebody might think they're stealing. I never worry about that. It never crosses my mind. I don't care. Right now, if somebody thinks that, then, hey, they think that. I mean, as long as, I'm actually not stealing and, they don't act in a way that is inappropriate, I really don't give a damn what they think. Okay? Long as they don't try to interrupt my life or or call the police unjustly, they can think whatever they want to think. Okay? I don't care. I don't care. But I'm not going to live my life scared that a white person might think something bad about me. Therefore, you know, I'm going to make sure that, oh man, I got to make sure they don't look like I'm stealing the cheese. No, I'm going to sample my cheese and keep it moving, right? If somebody got a problem with it, they got a problem with it. And guys, this reminds me of a time last year after the George Floyd thing, right? I was at a function, okay? A function, right? And one of my friends, the roommate that I was living with that's white, he had a friend, right? So it's a friend of a friend who was at the function as well. And this guy comes up to me. He's a white guy. And he says, "Are you okay, man? Like, I'm checking in on you to make sure you're all right." And I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking about? What do you mean, am I all right? Like, I'm chilling just like you chilling. Having fun just like you having fun." And he's like, "Well, you know, I'm just checking in because of all the things that's going on in the country right now. You know, with the George Floyd thing, with all this stuff going on. Like, I'm just making sure you're all right." And I was just I was triggered, right? I ain't gonna lie. I was triggered, okay? I looked at my roommate who happened to be white, okay? And he knew when I looked at him how I felt about that, right? He knows I'm anti-woke. He knows that all the so-called race stuff that was going on last year, I was unaffected by that stuff. He knows how I felt about it, okay? He knows, again, that I'm anti-woke, right? That at the end of the day, that George Floyd incident did not affect me at all negatively. I'm not one of these black people that's out here boo-hooing, whining, and crying and pretending like, you know, my life is terrible because of what happened to George Floyd. He knew that, but his friend did not know that, okay? The guy that was asking me the question. He just assumed because of my skin color that I was negatively affected by what happened to George Floyd when the reality is that I don't think police brutality is really that big of an issue. Just because you have some videos that are posted online, okay, in which every time one is posted, people go crazy and go wild about it and act like it's an epidemic, that doesn't mean that it's actually a real issue. It just means that people tend to react to these rare incidents. And if people react to enough of these rare incidents, if they see it enough, they're going to think it's more prevalent than it actually is. But it's not, because I know the actual data and statistics in regards to how many black people are shot and killed by police each and every year. And it's not nearly as many people as the mainstream media wants you to think. So at the end of the day, I don't feel like this is an epidemic. I don't feel like what happened to George Floyd and all that stuff that happened last year really affected me. But again, because of this whole narrative regarding black people being some type of victim, this is what I have to deal with, right? This is what I have to deal with. Some people assuming that I feel like I'm a victim even though I don't, which honestly is really one of the reasons I started this YouTube channel. It's because I had that feeling. I went through those experiences last year and it was just pissing me off, right? I was just pissed off, dude. I'm about to get on YouTube and rant about this, right? I'm about to rant against these woke people who try to make me feel like a victim, right? I'm serious. That is one of the reasons why I was like, I'm just about to speak out about this. I can't take it. I can't stand it anymore. And this conversation really kind of reminded me of that. It really did. And that's why I found it so cringe, right? It just took me back to that moment where I just was like so triggered, right? I was so taken back. Like, I can't believe this dude really think I'm out here boo-hooing crying because of George Floyd. Really? Really? Like, come on, man. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.